straight ahead on Virginia Outdoor Life. The Bucks are back, and we're off to the Eastern Shore to try our luck. Plus, bass fishing is still good at Gaston, and we'll take you to all the hot spots. Lots of good stuff on the way, so stay tuned. Virginia Outdoor Life is next.
Here we go.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show. This is Virginia Outdoor Life for Saturday, December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes, it is.
And speaking of Pearl Harbor, that is exactly what's happened to our set, in case you haven't been able to tell. The newsroom at News Channel 3 is undergoing a little bit of renovation, so they have moved the newsroom into our little home where our set is.
We've been bombed, as it were.
Yes, we have. So we're going to be on the road for quite a few months now, and we start our on-the-road segment of the show near the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel at Chicks Peak. Some good fishing out there, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been great all fall. Fantastic striper fishing out there all fall long.
And you're going to drive across it in a few minutes. We're going to do a little deer hunting on the Eastern Shore, correct?
That's right. You can not only fish around it, you can actually get on it and drive over and go over to the Eastern Shore. We're going to head out to Mapsville, Virginia, and meet up with a gentleman by the name of David Slaw, who has set us a stand up on a piece of property up there. And we're going to see if we can't, for the first time in the history of Virginia Outdoor Life, actually shoot a deer. Look, there you go. There's a whole, look, they've had a party out here. That's all since this morning. Now there's some dog tracks in there too. Is this planted yet?
That was a pretty nice one right there. But
yeah, that's a horse there, son.
here's another one.
Yeah,
That's right, he just planted. So I'm sure they've been grazing it a little bit. There's another nice one.
David, we're going to try and open the muzzleloader season with a bang, as it were, tomorrow over here on the shore, and it's the first day of muzzleloader season. Give us a little description of where we are. We've got what kind of a field out here? Is you just say you just planted that?
Yeah, what you're hunting over is basically on the field side, you've got freshly planted wheat, and then on the 50-foot edge, the buffer strips and rye and a wildlife mixture.
Right.
And the deer, you know, this was cut over, you know, 5 or 6 years ago, and this right here was cut over 2 or 3 years ago. So you have you have different successional stages of trees, and the deer seem to like that kind of habitat. And then when we did this timber, we left all the oaks that we could, so it gives them some acorns to eat, and they just like browsing around the new plant shoots and, you know, tender leaves of the young trees and stuff. So I have a pretty good feeling you probably see some deer. You might not get a shot at that big buck, but
right. That's all right. Won't be
you
the
probably
first time.
see some. Oh yeah, that's why they call it hunting, not
That's
killing.
right. You got it. Well, we're out here on a somewhat frosty November 4th, opening day of muzzleloader season, seeking the ever-elusive white-tailed deer. If we don't freeze to death, why, we're going to get up here in the stand and give it a try. We have to get out of here quick before Bibbo gets arrested for jacklighting deer with that spotlight on the top of that camera. So we're going to walk on down the field, get up in the stand, and freeze to death. Okay, it is now about 6:07. Sun rises at 6:37, and you are allowed to shoot. Shooting hours begin 1/2 hour before sunrise. So right now we're going to put a cap on the muzzleloader, and it will be loaded. All right, we are now loaded. All we need is a deer. Preferably one with big horns. I guess I've been doing this stuff for close to 40 years. It never gets old, it never gets boring. Every morning's new. You start out with greedy anticipation. You know you're going to see something. You've convinced yourself you've got a good spot. You've seen a lot of sign. It's good habitat. Didn't go off. Obviously, the gun did not fire, which probably indicates that even though I fired 2 or 3 dry caps through it this morning, there is still some sort of residue left in here. And what I'm going to do is just put a few grains of powder in here, put the nipple back in, another cap in it, try it again. We get it cleaned out. That's what it's supposed to sound like. Turn sideways, Timmy. He did everything he was supposed to do. Now he gets to do it all over again. Somebody else. Gears down. Cap didn't fire off the round the first animal that we had, but we got the second one. Small buck, 4-point, shot right square between the eyes. Not much meat hurt on that animal. Now we need to do the dirty work. We got to take him out, field dress him, check him in, and butcher him. Wrap him up, freeze him, and we got venison for the winter. Right here at the first day of muzzleloader season. All right.
And as we make our way back from the Eastern Shore, I can't believe it, the jinx has actually been broken.
We worked hard not to break it though, when that thing didn't go off on that first deer. But yeah, we did. We were very fortunate to get the second chance, and we're able to take advantage of that. And got a nice freezer full of venison.
That's great. Well, I'm looking forward to coming over for dinner in a couple of nights.
Come on, we'll fix you up.
Sounds good. Now, of course, there's still plenty of fishing to be done, not only here with the striper,
right,
correct? Also in freshwater, plenty of largemouth bass still out there and still looking good. We're going to go out and try to catch some next as Virginia Outdoor Life rolls on from Chicks Beach. Welcome back to Virginia Outdoor Life. I'm Bob Matthews along with Eric Burnley, and just off camera, Jesse the Wonder Dog. Time to talk a little fishing. Now, we were talking about striper, and we're knee deep in striper season right now.
It's been good, yeah, absolutely. And it goes till the end of this month.
And we've also got plenty of freshwater variety out there.
Yeah, that's the beauty of living in this area. You've got freshwater fishing 365 days a year. It's just great.
Yeah, and speaking of freshwater fishing, we were out at Lake Gaston a little while ago as Kurt Lytle took us out for some largemouth bass. We hit some of his hot spots, and well, we didn't do too bad. I tell you, we could not have picked a better day to be out here on Lake Gaston. We're at Poplar Creek. We're about 2 hours from Norfolk, out here with Kurt Lytle today. And Kurt, what are we going to be fishing for, and what are we using here? Looks like a little spinnerbait.
Yeah, we're going to be fishing for largemouth bass here on Lake Gaston. We're in Poplar Creek. We're looking for them shallow because it's October. Water temperature is about 70 degrees. This is a hog collar spinnerbait, a triple spin. Runs pretty shallow, and I've got a rattle trap here. White because the sun's kind of bright today, and I like to use white colors instead of chrome and blue, which is a good color earlier and later in the day in my experience. We're also going to try a jerkbait, and we're going to do some worm fishing if we have to, and we're going to see if they're going to bite top waters, but these 3 baits right here are probably going to be what we're going to catch our fish on. This Lake Gaston's put out more citation bass in the state of Virginia than any other body of water for about 20 years running, except for a couple of years that Back Bay had that honor. But more of them consistently come from here now than anywhere else.
So what's the technique here? How far down do I want to keep it? I want to keep it about 1.5 feet under the water?
You want to keep that spinnerbait so that the blades are barely showing. You want to catch a glimmer of the blades as you're looking down into the water, but you don't want it to be real bright. You also don't want to lose sight of it. So you're going to want to keep it about 1 or 2 feet under the surface.
Okay. Kind of a happy medium there you're trying to strike.
Right. On a sunny day, the docks tend to be the most productive areas in the lake to fish because the fish can stack up underneath that shade.
Well, our first little alcove not too successful, so we're gonna head on down the lake here, see if we can't find something on up about a mile or so.
What I think is going on is I think the lake is experiencing what we call a fall turnover, where the cooling waters on the surface of the lake sink to the bottom of the lake and push previously the bottom layers back up to the surface. It just kind of turns the whole lake up. It stirs it. Especially with a good windy day like this, it'll stir the whole lake up. Well, what that does is that brings up the acids that are on the bottom from decomposition of grasses especially. And it just like it stops nature. It's almost like it just turns it off for a couple of days or a week or so. And I'm guessing that's what's going on, just because we've just seen no action in the lower end of the lake at all. So I'm thinking if we go up into the natural river current coming out of Bugs Island Lake, this might be cleaner water. It might help us out.
Well, I got something. I don't know if it's a fish. Here.
Bring them in the boat. Just
There we
swing
go.
'em
How about that?
in. Swing them nice and steady. All right.
Not bad. Well, it took
There's-
us a few hours.
There's a Lake Gaston bass. You comfortable lipping them?
Oh yeah. You know, it's taken us so long today. I was wondering for a while. I was like, was it a fish or is it just the current? Finally, we got one. Nice. Thank you.
It's a pretty fish. That's a legal size fish.
All right.
That'll weigh in a tournament about 1.5 pounds.
They always seem to be taking a nap when I'm out here fishing for them.
There's one.
Got it.
Little fish.
Little, but hey, we ain't shut out. He's little, but he's lively.
Little fish. There we go.
Well, not too big, but at least we didn't get shut out.
Tough day of fall fishing here.
How about that? My fish is bigger than the experts.
This is true.
Well, we wanted to catch a little bit more, but any day spent on the water is a heck of a lot better than being at
You
the
had a
office.
nice day, you caught fish, what else?
Exactly. There's some really good fishing down there, too,
Oh yeah,
isn't there?
oh yeah, that's where the Bassmasters Classic was, not the Bassmasters Classic, but one of the Bassmaster tournaments was held there this year because Lake Kerr was so flooded they couldn't get on there, so they had to go to Gaston.
Well, we thank Kurt for taking us out, and hopefully we can go out again real soon.
Oh yeah, all winter long, there'll be fish there.
Go out and do it. Outdoor Scrapbook's coming up next, so stay tuned. Your pictures when we come back. Welcome back to Chicks Beach, where it is time to open up the Outdoor Scrapbook. We got the pictures right here, don't we?
Pictures right here.
We don't lie.
Nope.
We got 7 of them today, so let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at it as our executive producer and script boy Mike D brings us in our cliff notes. Why don't you start?
All right, number 1 is Iris Van of Suffolk. She caught a 1.5 pound spot. Her husband Rusty, a 1 pound croaker, and they were fishing on September the 2nd. So nice catch for the Van family.
See, now the way Mike wrote it, I thought that Rusty was the name
Yeah,
of
that's
the
why
croaker.
I changed it.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, the Davises are back. Peggy Davis from Portsmouth caught this barracuda last September fishing the South Tower, and then Peggy and Danny on the same trip. That's one of 3 amberjack they caught. They were fishing with Denny Dobbins aboard the Predator. Peggy says it was the best fishing trip she's ever been on, and I think that's probably saying something coming
That's
from
probably
the
saying
Davises.
something in the Davis family, that's for sure. All right, here we have Wallace Cooley of Nassauatics. First buck of the season, a 10-pointer. He took it with a bow at Silver Beach. That's a big animal. On the Eastern Shore, of course, and that was taken in October. So congratulations to Wallace. Nice animal, nice animal.
Up next is Heath Powell of Kent Island, Maryland, a 37-pound red drum caught last September off Paramore Island. His grandparents Rudolph and Phyllis of Quinby, Virginia, sent in the picture. And this next gentleman, and Todd, I hope you pronounce your last name right. It looks like Yuza Goronsky.
Yep.
What do you think?
I would say that's probably as close as we're going to get.
Exactly. Well, it was a guess. He's from Pasadena, Maryland. Heath's fishing buddy, that is. He
Right.
caught a 20-pound red drum the day before Heath's off Paramore Island.
Let's see what we got here. Here's Paul White. He's from Virginia Beach. 15-point buck. What a magnificent.
That is nice.
Oh, fantastic. Taken Thanksgiving morning last year, 26 and 7/8 inch inside spread. That is a genuine trophy animal, let me tell you. That's beautiful.
That is excellent. Well, this is what I like the best. Marshall and Tyler Rowe, Virginia Beach. We got more croaker, folks.
Hey, croakers.
Yes, Marshall, who is age 8, by the way, caught a 2-pound, 10-ounce croaker. Man, that's some good eating right there.
Yep.
And then Tyler, who is 6, caught a 2-pound, 6-ounce one. Caught it off Cape Henry aboard the Lucky Lady. Their proud Pop Kevinson in the picture. Thanks,
All
Pop.
right, way to go, guys. Way to go. All righty, Jim McMahon, I guess.
Yeah.
And Mark Gibson, Bridgeton, New Jersey. 47-pound yellowfin tuna caught off a Hatteras aboard the Fin Fantasy out of Oden's Dock, Hatteras. Thanks to Jane Oden for sending the picture to us. We really thank you for that.
Yeah, we're going to have to ask Bibbo just exactly what exit Bridgeton's off.
Yes, right.
What exit is that on the turnpike?
Which exit is that?
Steve Harding of Norfolk. Stringer of speckled trout right here. The biggest was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Caught that at the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel October 28th. And Steve also went back out on, November 1st. Another string of specks. This one from the Elizabeth River. The biggest there was 5 pounds, 11 ounces. 5 citations from the 2 trips. I'd say
I have never caught a citation.
that is not bad.
Speckled, never. All right, here we have Stephen Fleet from Chesapeake, age 11. His first white marlin. He caught it in August, fishing with his dad, John Fleet, aboard John's boat, no problem. Stephen loves deep sea fishing and hopes to be a mate someday on his dad's boat.
I think that's a very worthy thing to aspire
I can't think of anything better.
And coming up next, we're staying out here at Chicks Beach. It's hot product time, so get ready and have a pencil handy because you might be winning a delicious and wonderful product from us when we come back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Time for hot product now, and I think we got us some lures this week that is almost guaranteed to catch a
Almost
fish every time
guaranteed.
out.
We got a nice package of lures here from Man's Bait, and while we were at the CEOPA conference earlier this year, we were able to stop by the booth. It was the Man's booth where they demonstrated several of their different lures, and we have a lot of them here to give away for our hot product. Okay, this is Suzanne Newsom, correct?
That's correct.
From Man's Bait Company, and the big lure around here for striped bass is the Stretch 25, which of course is made by Man's. But I know you make a lot of other lures and a lot of bass lures. I wonder if you could kind of give us a rundown on what might be new for this year.
Okay, the latest, greatest, newest thing we have for 97 is our new winger. It's an inline spinner
Oh yeah.
with a double blade.
Yeah.
There's no line twist. And you know the thump, thump, thump you
Right,
normally get with a single blade. It was developed out in Colorado for trout, but in our testing we found that it worked well on everything from largemouth bass down to crappie.
Huh. Are those new topwater baits there, or are they?
This was developed by an Alabama cattleman. See the 2 sets of eyes?
Yeah.
If you put your snap here, you've got a good buzz bait. If that's not working, move it around, you've got a good chugger.
I'll be darned. Okay.
And it works just as well one way as it does the other.
And of course, you're holding the what? Protein
This
leech?
is the protein leech, and it just feels so good. You know a bass going to want to eat it up.
Absolutely. Well, let's see who gets this box of
Oh,
goodies
I'll
here.
get it. I'll get it before everything
Before
blows out.
exactly.
All right, I got it right here. Got it right here.
All right, good. No casualties.
We watch your show every week, and we really enjoy it. David and Brian Unker.
I think that's how you
And
pronounce it.
And they are from Chesapeake.
All right.
So the Unkers from Chesapeake, I bet they generated that in a computer. That is a neat little card.
Not bad. Now, the fishing forecast. I know we got a hot week of fishing coming up.
Oh yeah, we got a hot week of fishing and a lousy weekend of weather. It's,
Unfortunately.
looks like rain and wind over the weekend, but the rockfish are still here. The fishing has been not quite as good as perhaps we had hoped, but there's some big fish out around the high level bridge, and wireline trolling is real good on the tubes. We also ought to be still looking for some big bluefish down at Hatteras in the surf. First time in several years we've had a run of bluefish down there. And of course there's always a possibility of some sea bass off the head boats or private boats if you can get offshore. But unfortunately the weather for the weekend not looking too spiffy right from here.
So if you can't get out, bundle up.
Bundle up and watch Virginia Outdoor Life.
Sounds good. Go out and catch a fish if you can. If it's not too cold, bundle up, stay safe, and we'll see you next week. He's Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews.
Y'all take them easy.
Oh.